October the 18th, 1941. I am tired. Sleep does not come easily of late, especially with the plummeting temperatures and the creeping barrage of the guns that inch closer to our positions at the airfield. Mud has become a way of life. It is everywhere, caked into my boots, on my clothes, frequently in my hair and on my hands. Chunks of it litter the floor of my Hurricane's cockpit, and dried splatters decorate its undercarriage. The rain is relentless, although we continue to fly patrols in the worst of it regardless. I have to give the Russians credit. They are quite happy to conduct their flying in appalling conditions without complaint. Speaking of appalling conditions, there is heavy snow forecast in the coming week at last. I have little idea of what to expect. I have no experience operating under such conditions, but it seems unlikely that we will be grounded. As for whether this is also true of the Luftwaffe, I suppose we shall find out. Fritz is, for the most part, probably looking forward to it. Just a couple of weeks of good solid frost on the ground, and I suspect the squadron will be looking for a new home. The mood here has hardened somewhat. The initial bewilderment among the Soviets that we first observed when we arrived has fermented into a steely bitterness towards the invaders. It is a hatred I have seen replicated only among some of the exiled Czechs and Poles I encountered in 1940. It seems to bind everyone together and carry them onwards through the whole wretched experience. It's not a mood I share, but I can do nothing to change it, nor really should I even make the attempt, I think. Yesterday evening, Alexei Yashevsky taxied his Hurricane up to the hangars after concluding the last patrol of the day. Much like us, they'd found no Jerrys in the air, but instead had located and strafed a supply convoy. One of the trucks exploded as Alexei was making his run, and it left his machine plastered with the debris, including the remains of the drivers. I witnessed the former schoolteacher climb down from his aircraft, inspect the fragments of human flesh with cartoonish curiosity, before pronouncing it to be, in his words, Aryan meat. They all laughed. I did not, and I was too tired even to offer a performative smile. I walked back to my dugout to smoke in my cot before falling asleep. Today, we go up and do the same again, and again, for as long as it takes, because there are always more trucks, and always more Germans. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to IL-2 Battle of Moscow, where today, it's another four-man mission, as it usually is. However, today, as you can see, we've got bombs strapped under it again, some nice 500-pounders. We're on our way to a place called Gzhatsk, and coming with us today are Philippe, over there, Vitaly, and Andrei. Vitaly and Andrei are two of our newbies. Philippe has been around a bit longer. His chief distinction so far is that he managed to crash on landing in the first mission I ever did in this campaign. But he has a fair few missions under his belt, so he's a little bit more than a novice, but not quite a veteran. The weather is a bit grim. The windsock is, it's looking pretty erect. And our job today is to head over to Gzhatsk with an escort, thankfully, of MiG-3s. And we're doing a logistical strike today. Let me show you the map here. We're taking off. We're rendezvousing with our escort around about here. And then heading north, not very far, over here to Gzhatsk, where we're supposed to begin a free hunt for enemy transportation assets. So trucks, transports, anything like that. Now, I have my reservations about this, because ground attack can be a dangerous business on a good day, but it's especially dangerous when you're doing it right next to an enemy airfield, which is probably bristling with AAA guns. And I have a horrible feeling that when we get there, and I tell our squadron to attack, what they're going to do is try attacking the AAA guns instead of the convoys. So I've got kind of a bad feeling about this one. I think we're going to be massively let down by the friendly AI doing some really stupid things, unfortunately. But regardless, there's going to be all sorts of AAA around this town as well, I'm quite sure. There's a railway station here in addition to everything else, and that's going to be defended too. So I'm not looking forward to this one, quite frankly. The Hurricane is a good ground attacker in some ways, in others it's very much not. I may have discussed this in the past and I've just forgotten, but a lot of Hurricane pilots in World War II were killed on ground attack missions because they ran into heavy AAA defences, and the Hurricane is just a little bit too slow to effectively evade thick anti-aircraft fire, and a lot of them were killed after, particularly over in the Channel, the English Channel front in Western Europe, when they switched to using the Hurricane as a ground attacker, and initially they tried to use it to attack enemy airfields in France, and yes, it was catastrophically unsuccessful. So that's what we're flying into right now, pretty much. I'm not looking forward to it. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we've got the Germans making a push northwards up here through Clushino. Although the Reds are making a counterattack to the north past Karmenovo here, presumably hoping to try and surround some of the Germans there. It's nice to see some red arrows on the map pushing back in the other direction for once, honestly. Elsewhere, things are not looking quite so good. The Germans have made a big advance here, and they haven't gone much further than that for now, but to be fair, they might have made more progress up here. There's probably a big battle going on at Rzhev right now. But it's all a bit desperate, isn't it, really? It's a bit desperate, but that's sort of why it makes it fun, really. You know, it's a lot more engaging when you feel like every bomb you drop on a target is making a difference, as opposed to, I have to admit, when we did the Bodenplatte campaign in the Spitfire, and you get sort of that late into 1944, and the outcome of the war is pretty much already a foregone conclusion. It gives it a bit of a different vibe. It kind of makes everything feel like it matters a lot less, versus here, where obviously everything still hangs in the balance. So, talked enough. Let's get going. Boost on for this takeoff, I think, and let's go. Oh boy, it takes us a little while to get going, doesn't it, with all the bombs and such strapped on board. There we go. Gonna need like full nose up trim on this, aren't I? Gear up. Boost off. Readjust the RPM. Close the canopy because it's audible and wet. And, yeah, let's follow the waypoints. Ordinarily, I don't care so much, but when you've got an escort, it's a good idea to follow the waypoints, just so that the escort AI doesn't get all confused by you going off script. So, I'm going to dial back the throttle, let everybody catch up, and my god, is it bouncy today! Just a smidge of turbulence. Flippin' heck, that's not going to make ground attacking any easier. Alright. Well, ladies and gents, yeah, there they are in the background trying to catch up. Oh, you can see the rain in the distance. I love that. The weather and the clouds and stuff in this game are absolutely gorgeous. Alright, folks. I will see you. I shall see you when we're in the target area, which is honestly not going to be very long from now. Just need to hit these waypoints. Yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, ladies and gents, our little friends who were up there have just announced that they're engaging enemy fighters 7 kilometers away. I've spotted them from quite a distance. I don't see anything, I must admit. Had me eyes peeled, staring through the canopy right now for a while, and I don't see anything. But apparently they do, so have fun. Oh, there they go. Good luck, guys. You're gonna need it. If you can keep them off our backs, I'll be very happy. In fact, honestly, I feel like I need to start doing some S-turns just to be on the safe side. Mind you, don't crash into each other, boys and girls. Alright, let's have a look at the map. Should we need to make a left turn now? Gonna put the boot in with the throttle as well. Whoa! What in God's name are you guys doing? Careful. Thought they'd broken off to attack something then, but no. Alright, we're headed towards Gazhatsk. I'm assuming that's where the big column of smoke is coming from? Looks like it probably is. Which I'm not really sure. Can't really see anything from here. The visibility is terrible. Keep an eye out on the roads as well, really, for enemy convoys and things. Need to stop their supplies from getting to the front line. That's what this is all about. See quite a few dots behind me, you know. That's a little worrying. Oh boy, we're under attack. Okay. Patrol, air enemies. Now we're in the shit. They've already nailed one of us by the sounds of it. Son of a bitch. Alright. You want to play it that way? Well, there's not much I can do about it, if that's how you want to play it, honestly. Just gotta watch my back. Alright. Don't want to get dragon bagged here. But this guy. It's potentially going to make it easy for me to shoot him down the way he's flying. Come on. Some hits. I tell you what, the turbulence is not helping today. A few more hits. Rook 3's wounded. This is not going well. Where are the MiGs at? No, you don't, silly Jim. I'm not overshooting you. On fire! Get wrecked, son! Alright, that's one down. Looks like an injured Hurricane. That probably is a baddie the way he's coming at me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, looking at the wrong direction. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is not good. We are quite injured to the extent where the controls are sluggish because we can't manipulate them as well. This is bad. At least we're over friendly territory, if I'm reading that map correctly. I want to try and find somewhere to land where it's closest. I don't even know what hit me. It must have been someone coming from the other direction. Ah! I mean, home plate's probably the closest. Honestly, back to Zanino if we can. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ditch the field. I don't really want to do that from this injured. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where is he? Fuck a duck. We're in trouble. This guy wants some revenge. I think I need to bail out. At least I need to try to. I can't avoid this guy. Get the plane upside down. And out we go. Bloody hellfire. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Moscow 1941 experience that I have been promising you from the start, but only now is starting finally to deliver. Man alive. Oh, goodbye, Hurricane. You served us well for a lot longer than I expected you to be honest. But, that'll have to be it, won't it? At least we're somewhere in friendly territory. Well, that was a short one, wasn't it? Let's go over the debrief, shall we? Find out who kicked the bucket and who survived. Continuer claims, I did. Managed to shoot one of the bastards. I don't know if it was an F2 or an F4. Annoying thing is here, if I guess wrong, I think I'm going to have my claim denied, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe it was an F4. Submit report. Maximum information, start debrief. This will at least tell us actually what type of plane it was. If I got it wrong, I can cancel, go back and do it again. It's a bit silly, really. In real life, you would just claim it's a 109F, or even just a 109. You wouldn't specify, oh no, it was definitely an F4, not an F2. The only difference, by the way, being between those two is that the F2, I think, has a slightly lower caliber cannon in the nose. I'm pretty sure that's the only real difference between them. So, yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell. Okay, let's have a look then. So, some guys got damaged by flat guns. I guess that was the Peshka bombers that were operating in the area. Some ground combat. Hurricane was brought down by Leonard Spindler of 2 JG51. Andrei Yefremov was seriously wounded. Andrei was seriously wounded. He ain't dead. He's going to be out off the squadron, though. But he's not dead, and it's always nice to know they're not actually dead. Spindler was flying an F2. I think Spindler might be the guy who got me. Wouldn't be surprised. Philip was damaged by Spindler. Baldemar Weinman was damaged by yours truly. Vitaly was damaged by Bernd Eichmann. 109 F2 was brought down by... Alright, I better go back and change that to an F2 then. In a second. Valdemar Weinman was killed in action. Good. Bastard. James was flying a Hurricane Mark II. Philip was damaged by Uwe Gross. Hurricane Mark II was brought down by Uwe Gross. Philip was killed in action. Oh, poor bastard. Uwe Gross is flying a 109 F4. I was damaged by Bernd Eichmann. Vitaly was damaged again by Spindler. Damaged again by Eichmann. And then then that's when I hopped out. Hurricane Mark II was brought down by Bernd Eichmann of 2 JG51. We were lightly wounded. Really, it felt like we were a bit more than lightly wounded, if I'm honest with you. We were so wounded that the controls had actually become sluggish. And that wasn't anything to do with the plane. That's to do with the pilot actually just being so injured, like he's struggling with the controls. I didn't even know if we were going to be able to bail out, because if you get injured enough to a point, it doesn't let you bail out. Your pilot doesn't have the strength to get out of the cockpit. The reason I put the plane upside down was because that's actually standard procedure. That's what you were supposed to do. In general, anyway, when bailing out, is put the aircraft upside down so you basically fall out when you undo the straps or whatever. But I did that in particular because I figured if my pilot's injured, that might help him get out. I don't know if that's actually a gameplay mechanic. I was sort of operating under the assumption that maybe it is. If the plane is sort of right ways up, it might not be able to bail out because you have to actually physically climb out of the aircraft that way. But I figured if I put it upside down, it might help. And it looks like maybe it did. So, just mean I get another wound stripe? I guess the injury wasn't that bad. I will put it down to shock, I suppose. Vitaly Isayev damaged Uwe Gross. Oh, well done, Vitaly. You managed to get some licks in of your own, mate. Well done. The way that's it makes me wonder actually if maybe I shouldn't have exited the mission when I did. Maybe I should have let it go on a bit longer. Maybe Vitaly might have shot one of them down. I don't know. Or possibly Vitaly might have been killed. Right, I'm just going to hit cancel debrief. Mission combat report. Failed to find most recent log data set. What? Oh, for pity's sake! Really? If I hit finished, is it... Okay, it has taken it into account. Basically, all that's happened is it didn't cancel the debriefing at all. It's just skipped the debriefing. So, in other words, I didn't get to see the rest of the information, and that's honestly quite annoying. On the bright side, though, I think if we go to personnel... No, not personnel. Activity? Squadron log. We might be able to find the details here. Last page. 18th of October, 1941. Andrei got the wound stripe. Vitaly got the wound stripe. Order of the Red Star has been given to Alexei. Nice one, Alexei. Yaroslav Pankratov has been transferred into the squadron. Stepan Shlikov has been transferred to the squadron. Philip Teplov was killed in action. Andrei was seriously wounded. Vitaly was seriously wounded. And 109 F2 is brought down by us. And that's the summary, basically. Alexei got a medal. Philippe was killed. Andrei and Vitaly were seriously wounded and have been carted off to a hospital. And we were not quite so seriously wounded, as it turns out, in spite of what I thought. Right. Finish. So that's what the squadron's looking like these days. So we're looking a bit thin on the ground here, but maybe we'll get some replacements arrive while we're off sick. I can only hope. How's everybody doing right now on kills and whatnot? Alexei's got 2 still, although he's now got his medal. Alright. Apparently we're off duty now. None of you get shot down while I'm away, please. If we go mission now, I think it will heal wounds. We require 16 days to recover, so just over 2 weeks. A lot's going to change in 2 weeks, I suspect. So you hit accept. There's a bit of a delay here while the campaign generator calculates everything that happens over the next 2 weeks. And then we find out what happened in the meantime. So Valery Valery is dead, apparently. Gleb is dead. Oh, god damn it. He was like our second in command, Solotnik. And Alexei is also... He's been seriously injured and now he's carted off as well. Him and his medal. And his fraudulent claim of a Ju-88. At least he's not dead. We got any replacements? We've lost another 4 planes. Alright, we have got some replacements. Valery... Oh, wait, no. Valery was transferred and then immediately got shot down, so I guess not him. Pavel Furmanov. Vasily Amenyev. Gleb Pastuk. Alright, we got another Gleb aboard, apparently. Svyatoslav Konovalov and Vladimir Krimov apparently have joined us as well. Valery Gleb. We have been given the Order of the Patriotic War Second Class. Well, much appreciated. I'm not entirely sure what it was for, but appreciate it, I guess. And yes, Alexei got his wound stripe. Alright. Okay, the roster's looking a little better right now. So the new guys, let's have a look. Here's Vladimir. A new Vasily. Svyatoslav. Looks like someone's just told him something that's taken him by surprise in that photo. Gleb, who apparently has the same portrait as Alexei did. You know what? I'm going to change that to something else. Because nobody, only Alexei got to have this amazing hairdo. It was quite unique to him, I've decided. You'll do. There we go. Click finish. And then it will update. So there's the new Gleb. Yaroslav Pankratov. Again, you look like Philip. I know there's only so many friggin' portraits here they can recycle, but it's nice if they're relatively unique. So there's Yaroslav, Stepan Shlikov. Who's left out of our original bunch? Luitsa, Artur, Alexei, cheerful Alexei, and Inukenti, who got injured at one point, didn't you, mate? But you've survived, much like us. I think aside from that, everybody else is a replacement, possibly. Yaroslav and Stepan have 10 missions under their belts, but they might have been transferred from somewhere else. So, yeah, this is pretty much just us and the old guard here up at the top. Luitsa's managed to bump it up to 53 missions now. She's like a demon. She's been flying more than anyone else lately. Good grief. She's overtaken everybody else on number of missions flown. Flippin' heck. She has a very good work ethic, apparently, compared to the rest of us. Hasn't managed to get any more kills yet, though. Still. Right, should we have a look at the intelligence map? See what's changed, if anything's changed. Let's have a look. Oh, I have a feeling we might have moved airbase. The map is looking a little unfamiliar right now. So let me get this straight. Right, okay, there's Rzhev, which has now been taken by the Germans. And we're based up here now. There we are. I'm annoyed that it doesn't list me as an ace on staff. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, the Germans have pushed in. They've made a lot of ground, haven't they? Still, winter is coming. Was that Zanino down there? I need to be able to zoom in to really see. There we go. Where was Zanino? Don't remember. It's easy to lose things on that. Oh wait, there's Zanino. Oh my god, they really have taken a lot of territory then. If that's Zanino, where we were based earlier, boosh. The front line has withdrawn quite a bit. Things are not going well. Oh boy. Oh no. Well, yes, like I said. Winter's coming at least. I guess we're going to get news for our new base here, Krasnoye. Near Rzhev. We're our closest German neighbours. That would be 1JG52. Those are the ones that got downgraded to veteran at least. Next fighter squadron down is 1JG51. They're all the way down there. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this was not a very glorious episode, I'm afraid. I did get to finally kill another 109, I suppose, on the bright side. Set the little bastard on fire, which was nice. They're very difficult to kill, not only because they're way faster than you and they can climb better than you, but also because our guns are terrible. And unlike with the matches we ran into, the 109s have armor plating in the back of the cockpit that can stop rifle caliber bullets like ours. So you may have noticed that every time we engage 109s, we don't get nearly as many pilot kills. I think the 3 matches I shot down in that one mission we did with the Italians, I'm pretty sure every single one of them was a pilot kill. I thought originally the first one I got because I shot part of his tail off, but I don't think I did. I think that was just a flap being shot off. And I think what happened was actually I put a bullet into the back of the cockpit. And I think all 3 of them were on closer inspection of the gun camera footage, so to speak. I think all 3 of them were pilot kills, and you just don't get to do that with the 109s because they have that armor plating. Which means they can be very stubborn and refuse to die, which is very annoying. It'd be very different if we had some cannons. Eventually, when you get the Hurricane Mark II-C, you get the 420mm Hispano cannons, and they just... Oh, man, they evaporate anything you point them at. They are glorious. I've managed to do a campaign once. I think it was a Kuban campaign in the Hurricane II-C. And honestly, you just point the guns at the enemy, you squeeze the trigger for like half a second, and you just watch him explode. It is so good. But you have to... If we want to get those, we're going to have to suffer through more of this nonsense, unfortunately, until, we eventually survive long enough to get our hands on that version of the Hurricane. But, yes, and until then, we're going to be suffering, I'm afraid, I think. But, yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, thank you very much. I'm stumbling over all my words now. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you appreciated this episode, possibly a shorter one than usual, given the way it turned out, but I hope you appreciated it anyway. And I'll catch you for the next one. Toodaloo.